Hello friends, welcome again. Friends, in today's video lecture, we want to understand the meaning of the term catharsis and different theories of catharsis available to us. Catharsis is a term which we come across Poetics, which was written by the great Greek philosopher Aristotle. So friends, before we discuss, I request all my viewers to please subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get the notification. Why? Because I have already uploaded hundreds of other videos on English criticism and English literature. Friends, now let's come back to the discussion of catharsis. But before that, I want to ask you a question. Why do we watch a tragic movie? Okay, why do we watch a tragedy? We know that while watching a tragedy, most of us shed tears while watching the play. Or why? Because it's a tragic movie. Most of us keep on crying inside the theater, right? Not only this, we know that it is a tragic movie. We know that it is a tragedy, but even after that, many of us stand in a very long queue in order to buy the tickets, spend about 200, 300 rupees just to watch a movie which makes us cry inside the theater. So have you ever thought why at all we go to watch a movie which makes us cry when tears well up in our eyes? Okay, the answer is given by Aristotle. The answer is that we watch a tragic movie, we watch a tragedy because of catharsis. In fact, catharsis is a process which takes place in our mind and heart while watching the tragedy. Now let's discuss this in detail. Friends, Aristotle has written Poetics in Greek language. In Poetics, he has given much amount of discussion to tragedy. And there he has defined tragedy where you come across this term catharsis towards the later end part of the definition, as you can see here. Tragedy then is an imitation of an action that is serious, complete, and blah 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 blah. And then if you look at the last two lines, through pity and fear, effecting proper purgation, proper catharsis of these emotions. So friends, remember, catharsis is a Greek term used by Aristotle while defining tragedy. Okay, now this, according to Aristotle, a tragedy is one which is capable of arousing two types of emotions in our heart. Which are these two emotions? They are pity and fear. Tragedy must arouse pity and fear in the heart of the spectators, in the hearts of the audience. Now, pity for whom? Okay, then the answer is that we have pity, we sympathize for the tragic hero. Why? Because he is declining from happiness to sorrow, from prosperity to adversity. So when we watch the decline, the sudden decline in the life of the tragic hero, we sympathize with him. Moreover, we have fear. The emotions of fear is also aroused by the tragedy writer. Now the fear for what? Fear of the tragic hero's death. Okay, when the tragic hero is dying, we have sympathy with him and we have fear for the life of the hero. Also, in the ancient times, supernatural elements were presented in tragedy. So we have fear of supernatural elements also, okay. And the third kind of fear, which is an unknown fear of calamities in our own life. Unknowingly we start feeling and thinking that in my life also, if the things like this happen, then what? So we have such fear in our mind. So these two emotions, pity and fear, are aroused by tragedy. And now let's come to the three theories which are very popular among the scholars and critics about catharsis. But the most popular, the most acceptable theory is the theory of purgation. Friends, catharsis is actually a medical term, okay, and most of the critics believe that Aristotle has used the word catharsis as a medical term only. Why? Because Aristotle's father was a physician, okay, so he knew so many medical terms. So that is the reason why critics believe that Aristotle must have meant catharsis as purgation. Now what is this purgation? Purgation is an intellectual term, okay. Purgation means when the emotions like pity and fear are aroused in our heart while watching the tragedy, the excess of emotions are purged, okay. There will be a kind of balance, proper balance of emotions in our heart after crying, after shedding tears from our eyes, and the balance of emotions which remains at the end is known, this whole process is known as purgation by the critics, right. Now when the tears come out from our eyes, we feel lighter, we feel relaxed, okay, and this feeling of relaxation gives us pleasure, or this feeling delights us. And that is the reason why Aristotle said that tragedy, the main function of tragedy is to delight the readers, is to please the readers. Friends, many times I have given this analogy, this comparison to my students. It is the whole process of catharsis is just like boiling potatoes in a pressure cooker, right? How? Like if you want to boil the potatoes, what do? You put some potatoes, some water, and then close it, and then give fire from under the pressure cooker. After 5-10 minutes, what happens? The whole pressure cooker becomes full of steam. The water inside is turned into steam, and the extra steam, the excess of steam comes out from the whistle, okay. And at the end, when you open the pressure cooker, you have sweet boiled potatoes, right? In our heart also the same process takes place. We have hundreds and hundreds of emotions in our heart which we have suppressed while living our practical real life, but when we watch a tragedy before our eyes, those suppressed emotions are aroused. Our heart, just like a pressure cooker, becomes full of emotions, and when there is an excess of emotions, they come out in the form of tears, and at the end, we feel relaxed after crying, after weeping, and this relaxation leads us to pleasure. So this is how the process of purgation takes place. Second theory, which is more popularized by the critics like Lessing, Butcher, and some other critics, that is known as purification theory. It is a kind of moral term. According to these critics, catharsis is not an intellectual term, it is a moral term, and there are the critics like Humphrey House, Lessing, Butcher, and others. They believe that purgation is a wrong theory. They say Purification is the theory which involves moral instruction and learning. It is a kind of moral conditioning. Okay, Humphrey House points out that the purgation means cleansing and purifying our understanding and emotions. So instead of purgation, these critics believe that the basic function of tragedy is to purify the understanding of the spectators, to purify and to cleanse the emotions and heart of the spectators. The third theory, which is popularized by the critics like Hardison, Leon Golden and others, that is known as clarification theory. According to this theory, catharsis means clarification of the basic and universal significance of the incidents depicted. Whatever incidents are presented on the stage, we get basic understanding about the events which are presented on the stage but which are also found in our own life. Okay, and this leads to a better understanding of life, of universal law. Okay, so it clarifies tragedy according to this critics. It clarifies our understanding, it clarifies our thoughts and emotions. So these are the three theories which are presented by different critics, but the most popular among them, as I told you, is the theory of purgation. So friends, here we come to the end. Please do watch my other video on Aristotle's theory of tragedy, which I have already uploaded. Thank you very much.